Hello everyone, the 316 here with another Morphin Monday Lightning Collection review. This time I got the Gamestop exclusive, don't quote me on that, Color Swap 2-pack. This usually retails for about $47, $48.99, but if you look on the box here, you'll see I got mine for only $26, $25. Oh, and since we got the box here, I'll go ahead and show you that. This was one of the first boxes of the plastic-free packaging initiative, but it doesn't have that little plastic-free packaging logo that the other boxes do. Usually it'd be like right here or around this area. So, standard typical box that you'd see with the plastic-free packaging. Okay, she fell over. I wanted to make her nice and standy. Anyway, you get two figures here. We get Color Swap Trini, which is Red Ranger Trini, and Color Swap Jason, which is Yellow Ranger Jason. Now, I'm not entirely sure why they decided to make just this Color Swap 2-pack rather than make all of them. I'm not sure if we'll get the rest down the line, but I don't think that this one was a waste of a slot. First of all, they get to reuse the body molds, and it's basically just a repaint with only two new pieces, technically speaking. Everything else in this 2-pack besides the heads has been reused for another figure at some point down the line, or is about to release, like the remastered figures, because these both use the remastered figures body molds. So this was the first instance of us seeing some of these particular molds, and we will look at those. Anyway, let's start with accessories. You get a ton of accessories with these figures. I'm going to grab this from Red. So both figures come with each form of the Blade Blaster. So you get the holstered form, the blade, and a new form of the blaster mode that has a porthole in it, so you can put an effect piece. I appreciate that, and like I said, each figure comes with one, so you get all of those. And if you want to use those on your older figures, you can, which is, I think, a great thing. Next up, let's talk about effect pieces. So yellow comes with two of these Beast Morphers effect pieces in this like pinkish bluish color. As you see, there's a little hole there where you can put the daggers in, and it's a much better effect piece than those ones that came with the other 2-pack yellow. Those ones are not good, at least for the daggers. Red Ranger comes with one of these effect pieces, which I forget the first one, or the first figure it came with. I know Goldar had one, but this is not the same effect piece that the original Red Ranger came with, but it works for the sword. Just goes on like so. It's not a perfect fit. If anything, the effect piece is too big, and I mean, it stays on, but you know. Next up, hands. Red gets some trigger finger holding hands, a left karate chop hand, and a right fist. And then red, or yellow, yellow gets two fists and two holding hands, which currently have the daggers. Lastly, before we take a look at the weapons, let's take a look at the head sculpts. If you didn't get the single release of yellow or red, these are a pretty decent representation of these two characters. Now, these are both based on the comic books, but they share enough similarities to the actors themselves that I think that they could work. Trini more so than Jason. With Jason, his issue is that his hair is brown. All you would really need to do is repaint that, and the lips are a little off. I'm not sure why those look so weird. But before I forget, let me do a head swap of the original Red Ranger so you can see what this civilian head sculpt looks like if you're getting the remastered figure. But there you go. Honestly, it doesn't look too bad. I think it looks pretty good. I appreciate it that we got some comic book based likenesses. We usually don't get that. I know that Ranger Slayer and the Tyrannosaurus Sentry didn't have one, so when we do get it, I want to point it out and acknowledge it. Alright, the figures themselves comes with the red, comes with the power sword, which is different to the one that came with the original Red Ranger. Really, it's just missing the gold detail on the midsection of the sword. The handle is not painted gold like it is on Raphael's red, but that's a different mold entirely. Take the sword off of her. And then with yellow here, he comes with the power daggers, almost said dragon daggers, excuse me. But what's weird about these is they're actually remolded. So if I take a look here, it's very hard to notice, but they are definitely a different mold. I would say they're better, but if you look at the top, the original mold had the holes for the blaster, the what is it, power blaster form, and then with this one it doesn't. It has the marks to indicate where to take it out of the sprue. I don't know why that they didn't include the holes on the bottom of these ones. These ones are slightly bigger, so again, not sure why they did that. Let me take those out of his hands. And we will start with yellow here. Now, I was going to bring down all of my Mighty Morphin figures because yellow here, this was a good way to give us a Zhu Ranger display because the Yellow Ranger in Japan was a male and honestly looks pretty good. One thing that I do want to point out is the helmets. The helmets are different. The main difference you'll notice is the eyes up here. These are much thinner. They're not very circular, whereas these ones are much fatter and much more circular. I don't think either helmet sculpt looks bad. This one is more accurate, but this one looks good. Also, for some reason on this yellow, they gave them the lip mold a philtrum. You can see at the top there, there's just those lines to indicate that. None of the other mouth molds, as far as I know, even include one, so kind of weird they included it with this figure. Now, another thing, because of the helmet molds and the new necks, they're not technically compatible with each other, the original yellow release and this one, because this one, as you can see, it sits down a lot lower on the neck, whereas this one sits up a bit higher. When I swap them off camera, basically he had no neck and she had too much neck when I swapped the heads, so don't recommend swapping the heads on those figures. But the remastered yellow figure does come with this head sculpt, particularly. But, you know, this is a new body mold, pinless. It feels good, but it does feel a little wobbly, at least in the hip area and a little bit of the upper torso. One thing to note about the upper torso is that I did have to pull up on it so that I could get some a better crunch. It arcs back enough, but arcing it forward is not very easy. If we take the Red Ranger, the original body mold here, you can see that I can get a little bit deeper of a bend, especially backward. You know, it's enough movement. I just wish there was a little bit more. Painting on here looks pretty good. Here's the Morpher. It's really hard to make it out, but it's definitely the saber-toothed tiger. Like to the naked eye, it looks better. On camera, it does look a little patchy, but it's not bad at all. It's just kind of hard to see with the right lighting. Yeah, you know, good new male body molds. It is a little wobbly, but they did reuse this body mold for In Space Silver, and I'll do a quick comparison there so you can see. It's definitely the exact same body mold. Silver came out a bit better, just from a quality control perspective. This figure, though, this box set, it did have quite a few quality control issues, and it wasn't good. It just really wasn't. But mine turned out okay. His leg down here is very loose on mine, but he stands just fine. See, I can just plop him down and it's okay. You know, he doesn't fall over unintentionally. All right, next up, what a lot of people bought this 2-pack for was actually this Red Ranger because it comes with an updated helmet. As you can see, the helmet is almost spot-on accurate to the show model, and it looks good from all sides, including the top here. This does use the new female figure body mold, which is pinless, as you can see, and has the double jointed elbows. I never really liked buying older Lightning Collection female figures because they didn't have those elbow articulations or the upper swivel on the forearm. They always just felt less quality than the male figures. But with this new body mold, this feels a lot better. It looks better, and I'm glad that they have something that actually looks really good and just feels more premium, more quality. Now, this was reused for Dino Fury Green. It's the exact same body mold as far as I can tell, if not very similar. Except the boots and the wrist bracers, of course. Anyway, what was I going to say next? Painting looks good on here. Here's the Tyrannosaurus coin. If I can get it to focus. It's really not wanting to focus on the right part here. Come on. Come on. Okay, there you go. The Tyrannosaurus looks better than the saber-toothed tiger on yellow. I will say the one thing I am having issue with this particular figure is it's very wobbly. When it came out of the package, this upper torso was pushed all the way down into the lower abdomen. So I didn't have this good range of movement, as you can see. Now with this good range of movement, there is a lot of open space, especially if you lean the figure back like this. It's just a big gap. But it's either get all that awesome range of movements or have, very little with the torso pushed all the way down. And as you can see, it's still very wobbly. Now, I know many of you are interested to see what this helmet looks like on the original Red Ranger, so let me pop the old helmet off. But first, a comparison so you can see what we're going from. It's a night and day difference if you ask me. Alright, let me swap these heads. Ooh, that one was on there pretty good. Okay. Putting the old helmet on the newer figure. And putting the new helmet on the older figure. Alright, and here is what that looks like. And this is probably how I will keep these two figures displayed. I think that, this 2-pack is a good parts pack. And, the figures themselves are good, but, I mean, it's, again, night and day. That Red Ranger on the right looks so much better. On the left, I don't know. I don't really like this helmet. It still looks pretty bad, even with the minor silver modification I added to the visor. Yeah. I mean, I will say one other thing is that let me get yellow here. You can see they actually painted the top where the shoulder is here with the white. I actually do like that better than just having it be flat on the older figures. So, I mean, it's really about personal preference. Getting, the newer figures is probably easier than getting the old ones. Although red I think is still pretty easy to get. I know that the remastered figure has sold out on pre-orders in a couple places. But, yeah, anyway. Glad to have a more proper looking Red Ranger on display, and this one as well. And if you do notice on camera, the helmet matches the arms on this one, whereas this helmet is a lot darker and matches the torso. I still don't love the fact that his torso is so much darker, but the helmet's better, and that's what really matters. So let me get him out of the way. And, and if I haven't, here's a comparison of yellow as well, just so you can get an idea of that. For the rest of the video, I'm going to keep that helmet on red. Let me go ahead and do some more comparisons, but first let's see how they scale. Red here comes in at about just over 5 3/4 inches, and yellow is like 6 inches on the dot. On camera he does look taller, but to the eye it's a little shorter. Usually the back of the box shows the height. It just shows 6 inches for both, which I'm not entirely sure. Let me look at red again. Yeah, she's still shorter than 6 inches, but again, I did swap the helmets, and yellow's legs are a little splayed. But alright, comparison time. Let's go ahead and get all of the other Red Ranger Tyrannosaurus figures out of the way. So we got Tyrannosaurus Sentry. We got the original MMPR Red. And we get what's his name? Raphael. Stick him there. Oop, nope. It's all falling down. The system, I don't know. Bring yellow up front. And then for yellow, we have Mikey. And he fell over instantly. That's great. Come on, Mikey. There you go. And we got the original, or 2-pack release of MMPR Yellow. We don't have a yellow Tyrannosaurus, a yellow saber-tooth tiger sentry. I hope we get that and black at some point, but, you know, our Red Ranger and Yellow Rangers are looking pretty good here. Let me get them out of the way. I already showed you the reused body molds, but I'll do it one more time here. Let me get yellow in a better position. So here's In Space Silver. And here is Dino Fury Green. Just so you can get an idea of the body molds and how they've been reused. And lastly, let's go ahead and look at some other lines. So let's start off with our Nightfall Batman from McFarlane Toys. DC Multiverse line. Next up, we'll do another Lightning collection. We got Dino Thunder Black. Next up, we have G.I. Joe Classified Tiger Force Outback. John Cena from Elite 100 Mattel. WWE, of course. And can't forget Spartan Yoroi from Jazzwares. If he'd stand up properly. There we go. And you know what? I'll throw him in there just so you can get an idea from a bigger figure. Here's Atrocitus. He's out of frame, but there he is. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. What do you think of this 2-pack? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe, and hit the bell. It all helps out the channel, and I'll see you on the next review. Peace.